Nice of you all to drop by. As it happens, there have been more of you dropping by in recent times. After it was all over, there were of course the mums and dads coming over to see where we were. But after a while, visits became less frequent. The place was all tidied up though, with flower beds and everything. Then, for 5 years, no one. Not a single soul. Jerry again, someone told me. Still can't understand if we let this hand twice. Anyway, you're here now, and that's what's most important. I bet you're all wondering who I am and how I came to be here, right? Well, the thing is, I don't really know myself. Apparently, only God knows who I am. That's what the headstone says. Known unto God. Call me Tommy Atkins, if that makes life easier for you. It's less formal anyway. I was 17 when I drew my lucky number. Dulce et decorum est pro patria mori, some Roman guy once said. My arse. There's nothing sweet, nor honourable, about being blown to smithereens. Sorry for my bad language. Sergeant Major wouldn't have liked it. I probably would have gotten field punishment for saying the word arse. Tommy, the trains! Was one of his favourites. He was a good guy though, Sergeant Major. Like a mother.
Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major, be a mother to me.
I was only 16 when I enlisted. It was either that or going down the pit. Great choice, eh? Especially when you're afraid of small spaces, like me. So I didn't have to think long about this. I went to enlist together with my pals from the village. Apparently, they also thought anything was better than going down a black hole. The recruiting officer gave me a long, hard look when I told him I was 18. I tried to make myself as tall as possible, which isn't easy when you're only 5'6". But luckily, Jack vouched for me and convinced him that I was indeed 18. He shook his head, mumbled something between his teeth, and filled in my form. That was April 1916. We weren't sent overseas immediately though. First, we had to go into training. I was sent to Romford, in Essex. As you can imagine, it was pretty hard stuff. But I didn't tell my mum and dad about it. They were very worried. Food was good though. They did everything to keep us fit and in fighting order. Going on long marches became a favourite pastime, if you know what I mean. And I got to know Sergeant Major. He said he'd be like my guardian angel. Good help that was. At that time, I also had a girlfriend, Daisy. She was ever so sweet.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your arms to do. I'm half crazy for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
I wrote to her every day. Well, almost every day. It's a sad thing, but I never got the chance to properly say goodbye to her. After 6 months training, we were considered ready for the job. I'd become a fusilier and had had to shoot a rifle, handle a balloon gun, throw grenades, charge with fixed bayonets. "I don't like it up 'em," Sergeant Major said. "I don't like the cold steel." He'd fought in the Boer War and was the only man in our platoon with any real combat experience. I was determined to get the gun. You had quite a send-off. The night before, we all got drunk in the barracks. Normally, we weren't allowed to drink, but that night all the officers turned a blind eye. Did they know what we had coming? Next morning, we all had a hangover. We took the train to London, where we marched from Liverpool Street Station to Waterloo Station to get on the Folkestone train. Everybody was applauding and cheering us on. During the crossing, I got as sick as a dog. I'd never seen the sea before in my life, and I swear to God, I never wanted to see it again. I wish I died then and there. After we'd arrived in France, we were taken to an army camp near Boulogne. Although we were more than 50 miles away from the fighting, here I got my first taste of what things would really be like. As regular as clockwork, the Germans shelled us with heavy artillery. You could hear the whiz seconds before the shell exploded. You know, after a while, I could tell just by the sound whether or not I should go for cover.
Hush, here comes a whiz bang. Hush, here comes a whiz bang. Now you soldier men, get down those stairs, down in your dugouts and say your prayers. Hush, here comes a whiz bang, and it's making right for you. And you'll see all the wonders of no man's land if the whiz bang hits you.
Little did I know then that this was actually going to happen to me. Oh, and there were aeroplanes. I'd never seen them before. They flew over to take photographs and drop bombs. Now and then one of them got lucky. And of course, Sodra was number. Although I slept in the same barracks, the officers were allowed to leave camp. There were talks of beautiful French girls waiting for them at the gate. You could apply for a pass, but I didn't get one. "You're too young for their taste," Sergeant Major said. He really did think he was my guardian angel.
Oh, mademoiselle from Armentières, parlez-vous? Oh, mademoiselle from Armentières, parlez-vous? You didn't have to know her love to find the reason men went wrong. Inky, pinky, parlez-vous?
Anyway, I had my days in. After a week near Boulogne, we were told that we'd be on the move. We marched to the railway station and took the train to Flanders. Spirits were still high, although I felt a twinge in my stomach. The journey to the front line was like the road to hell. I can't remember how many times the train had to stop because of the shelling, but it was a whole lot. We were all crammed together in these cattle wagons sitting on straw. On each wagon was written 40 Homs, 8 chevaux. We got no food, but there was a cistern with brownish water to drink from. That was it. Whenever the train stopped, soldiers would jump out to relieve themselves along the rail track. "Have a ship whenever you can," the Major said. "There'll be no chance once you're in the line." 18 hours later, we arrived at a place called Popringe. The town was swarming with soldiers. You could hear the shelling going on quite clearly. Everybody was very nervous, as things were getting serious. We didn't stay long in town. You know, I was later told that was so we wouldn't meet soldiers coming from the front. Sergeant Major then told us we'd be going to a place southwest of a town called Wipers, or Wipers or something. I'd read about the town in the newspapers, and it didn't seem like the best place to be. We had to march at night, so the Hun wouldn't know what we were up to. The road was really bad. The guy who'd once built it must have chucked the cobbles from far in the ground. It's a miracle that no one broke an ankle on the way. When we arrived at the supply trenches, we were told to wait. We'd be replacing the guys who'd been up there for 3 weeks. Although it was almost summer, the weather was lousy. It rained almost every day. And because of the heavy rain, there was mud everywhere. There was talk of a big push. It was clear something was going to happen. Large numbers of ammunition and other supplies were sent forward on horse-drawn carts. And the Hun wouldn't stop bombing us night and day.